actually, this journey started on Monday with Let Us Reason Together. You need to go check the show out. It was a great show. Anyway, Monday's Let Us Reason Together. We started talking about enemas and things like that. And I was doing that and I found ozone enema. Well, and that is a thing, but I want to talk about the benefits of ozone. Man, ozone, who would have thought? I thought that was crazy sounding. What ozone? What are you talking about? But here you go. The lack of health exists in every single cancer cell without exception, and it's all due to impaired oxygen, less respiration of the body cells. Here, I'm going to go ahead and stick this link on here so you guys can pull up this article and more. So hold on just a second. Be patient with me. Yeah, it takes a second to do that. All right. Anyway, who would have thought that ozone has a health benefit? You know, you hear about it. It's in the, who cares? But have you guys ever noticed that wonderful smell after a rain? Well, that fresh, clean smell is ozone. In fact, fishermen in China, other places, Indians back in the day, they used to fish right after a storm because they said the fish tasted better. That rich ozone in the air. There was something about that rich oxygenated environment that made it better. And in fact, I didn't know this, but ozone treatments, medical treatments have been around since Tesla in the late 1800s. In fact, ozone treatments of all kinds. And by the way, there's a lot of ways you can treat with ozone, not just enemas. There's oxygen-rich environments, intravenously. There's so many things, and we may talk about that. But in Russia, in Germany, in Cuba, and other places, that it's normal to treat with ozone. It's just in the US that you don't do it. In fact, in Germany, after surgery, if you do not have an ozone treatment, it's considered malpractice because it helps heal so much more because that oxygen-rich environment. So with that being said, that ozone that you smell, that ozone gas that you smell, that's so wonderful, it has benefits because it's nature's healing environment, actually. So ozone has that feeling of being cleansed, and that's exactly what it does in us and through us if we treat ourselves with ozone. It's natural, folks. It's natural. Now you may say, well, I heard about it in pollution and things like that. Well, when sunlight and moisture and temperature meet, the molecules that we call pollution, mostly hydrocarbons and things like that, they are transformed into ozone. But without ozone, we wouldn't even be able to live because of the pollution. So that's a whole nother thing. But that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about treatment. So if you have this negative connotation, forget it, because everything's twisted in our world anyway. But it's a versatile form of treatment. In fact, since the time when ozone was first used medically, it's proven itself to be hardy fighter of cancer, liver disease, autoimmune disease, heart disease, allergies, diabetes, Lyme disease, macular degeneration, viral diseases, rheumatism, arthritis, even geriatric conditions and SARS and AIDS. I mean, that's a lot, folks. That's a lot, folks. We need to know more about it because in the US, doctors aren't going to tell you because you might get well. You might find that cancer is gone. You might find these other issues are gone and they can't make money. So it's up to us to educate ourselves. And we had said on the show on Monday that one woman was using the therapy and a 12-inch worm, she was using the enemas and a 12-inch worm was the result. And anyway, why? Because worms, parasites, viruses, bacteria thrive in low oxygen environments. And so when you introduce that third molecule of oxygen in there, it causes the disease and things that shouldn't be there to just sort of blow up. And parasites, we've got to understand that parasites can cause cancer indirectly because they drain their host of nourishment and they also put their waste within the host. So it can result in cancer. In fact, it's said that 20% of cancer patients have a parasite. True fact. Yeah. Ugh, right. So anyway, what else does it do? Well, and how is it used? Well, we already talked about where it's used. That's for sure. So we're going to skip that section. But ozone therapy has many healing mechanisms, and their actions are believed to an inactivation of bacteria, virus, funguses, yeast, protozoa. It stimulates the oxygen metabolism and it activates the immune system. So already just right there, there's many, many benefits of ozone. I'm going to go a little bit more because there's a lot to know. But if you look at it, all of our body cells have this built-in suicide pact. Scientists call it apoptosis. And apoptosis serves the purpose of protecting all the other cells in the body from the damage of dying cells that can release bad things. That's healthy cell. That's what happens in a healthy cell. Basically, it sacrifices itself so the other cells in your body can become healthy. But when for some reason that cell doesn't self-destruct, it begins replicating itself the bad way. So these bad cells begin to replicate bad cells, and the damaged cell lives on and it produces this damage. And because of the apoptosis didn't happen. So understand that. So when you go in and you introduce this ozone, it helps remove these bad cells, because it doesn't just send more oxygen to the cell. It stimulates the mitochondria in the cell to use the oxygen that's already available more efficiently. It attacks pathogenic materials that don't have protective coating. Ozone only kills pathogenic cells. Chemotherapy, radiation are just as efficient in killing cancer cells, but they kill everything else too. Ozone treatment just kills the bad stuff. And it's important in helping control viruses and other things here on the earth. Ozone, and it occurs naturally. So here are some things, the way you can use it. Autotherapy. So it's mixed with a person's blood and it's given back intravenously. Saline therapy, another intravenously. Ozone saunas, people have those in their homes to help just fill your body with ozone. Insufflation, which is an enema, or something that's used both areas below the waist. I'll just put it back that. But it has healthy qualities. A sauna bag, topical oils. You can use oils that are topical, and breathing ozone oil. That's healthy too. Drinking ozonated water. And this article goes into how to prepare and things like that. But here you go. I want to just list some benefits. Inactivates bacteria, virus, yeast. We already said that. Enhances circulation. Increased production of collagen and cartilage, which means you look younger. Ooh, think about that, Joe. We were talking about that earlier. Purifies blood and lymphatic system, stimulates oxygen metabolism, disrupts malignant tumor metabolism, reduces inflammation and pain, excretes heavy metals, which we all need, normalizes hormone and enzyme production, improves brain function. It removes free radicals. It relaxes muscles by building the buildup of the lactic acid. It oxidizes toxins so they can be eliminated from the skin, the lungs, the kidneys, and the colon. It stimulates the peripheral blood vessels, which accelerates healing. It speeds up your metabolic processes, which helps you burn calories, which helps you get skinny or stay skinny. It reduces the clumping of red blood cells, and so you have less plaque in your blood, and it changes carbon monoxide, the CO, the worst free radical in the body, into carbon dioxide so it can be released. And there is so much more to ozone therapy. So my suggestion is study up on it. It might be worth introducing some of this into your life, whether it's through the water or the enemas or having a sauna or a little tent that you make. Wow. All I know is that I want to talk to John about it because, hey, I'd rather take care of things before bad things happen. But if it does all that other stuff, we probably all need it. So that is health from the inside out. If any of you want to comment super quick, we can do that. But as studying this out, and there's so much more, I'm like, wow, we all need to add a little ozone to our life.
Well, ozone was started in the beginning in the garden. There was no aging, no parasites, none of that. And we lost it. And now it's, the wisdom's coming forth again.
Yeah. And it's actually been here for 100 years, but over 100 years, but let's keep silent.
One quick thing on that is ozone is good, but you cannot inhale it. it irritates the lungs and causes you to cough. And I learned that because we have had some air purifiers, and you turn on the ozone and it tells you leave the house. Now, when you come back, your house is really fresh.
Well, I have something on that, and it said they do have ozone breathing treatments.
Oh,
and yeah, they actually do have it. And in the article, it talks about how sometimes it can start to irritate and how to get around that. And at the beginning, but how to use it. And so it's a long article. It's 15 pages long. So I'm not going to be able to find it real quick, but read that article, because it does have breathing in that ozone. They do say it's very beneficial, like even making a tent over your head, like with a humidifier, and breathing in, because they have ozone generators and doing it that way. So I'm not saying you're incorrect, but I also know that it says that it's a good thing too. So
when I turned it on, now it affected me coughing and stuff. And
it does say it starts like that sometimes.
Yeah, but if you've got a sickness and disease going through your household, you can turn that on, and it'll take care of it. The rest of your family usually won't get it. I mean, different things I've learned over the years, but I didn't study it in depth like you did. I just know enough to be dangerous.
Well, but
I'm gonna breathe it, but that's me.
If we were in an original oxygen-rich environment like that, wouldn't it be good to make our homes oxygen-rich?
Yes. In Japan, they have oxygen bars. You go in and you pay and you breathe
in all the smog there. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. Can I set a 5-gallon bucket in my yard after it rains and put a lid on it and catch the ozone?
It's a gas. It'd go.
It's a gas? Oh, that's gas. All right. Okay, just wondered.